So guys, yesterday I had a light bulb moment, and it's simply this. Olódùmarè might be a woman. So in Yoruba spirituality, Olódùmarè is the primary designation that is ascribed to the Almighty Creator. And one profound thing about the Yoruba language is that usually a single word is a convergence or the coming together of multiple words to form that single word. And that is why it is very problematic when in translations to English, most likely, they try to translate that word directly to another word that already exists in English. Most likely, a particular word in Yoruba is a sentence, and to be able to extract its meaning properly, it has to be translated into a sentence and not a word in English. So let me explain. For instance, Olódùmarè does not mean Almighty Creator or Almighty God, as it would be translated to if you were using Google Translate. And Orisha does not mean deity or smaller gods. So these words, they have meaning, and when you translate them in a wrong manner, you lose those meaning. So now, why would I say Olódùmarè is a woman? It comes from a deeper understanding of the word Olódùmarè. So quickly, let's look into the etymology of the word Olódùmarè. So like I said, the word Olódùmarè can be broken down into different independent words in themselves. And if you want to do this, let's break it down. The first word is Olo. Then the second one is Odu. Then the next one is Ma. Then the last is Re. When you bring this together, it forms Olódùmarè. Olo as a standalone means the owner of, can also mean the custodian of, and can mean the lord of. That's where you get the titles of a lot of these kings, where you have Olówu, Olómù. So Olo simply means the owner, the custodian, or the lord of something. Now, Odu. Odu can be translated to mean a pot or a vessel or a source. And that is simply what Odu means. Then Ma, we all probably know what Ma means. Ma is not or never. Then Re. Re can be translated to exhaust or to finish. Now, when you bring all of that together, we have Olódùmarè, which means the custodian of or the owner of the pot or vessel or the source of creation that does not exhaust. That is what Olódùmarè means. So Olódùmarè does not mean Almighty God. Olódùmarè does not mean simply God. Olódùmarè does not mean omnipotent God or omnipresent God. That is one of the terrible things that inefficient translation did. So if you want to translate Olódùmarè properly to English or to some other language, a single word does not accommodate it. It is a whole sentence, same as Orisha, but we're not talking about Orisha today. So when you look at this sentence, the custodian or owner of the pot or vessel of creation that does not exhaust, what came to my mind instantly is that this is a feminine energy. Because when we look into nature, when we look at ourselves as human beings, the custodian of the pot of creation is the woman, because she is the custodian of the womb. It is not the man. The man provides energy for the creation process to start, but the custodian of that pot of creation, the one who contains that pot of creation within itself, is the woman. This is evident in us as the human species and in most types of animals. The female is always the custodian of the pot of creation or the womb that facilitates the molding of creation. But I didn't just stop there. I now looked at some of the primordial elements that exist within our world today. They are feminine energies. For instance, Olókun, that is the ocean, is a feminine energy. It is the custodian, the vessel that contains, that nurtures marine life. It does not only act as the custodian of all the profound beings and elements within the marine world, but it also provides the ecosystem for these beings to thrive. And when you look at that, the ocean is a feminine energy in itself. Another primordial element that is also a feminine energy is the earth itself that we exist on. Apart from it being the foundation of the sustenance of our life and of the life of every other thing, when you plant a seed, it's the earth that nurtures those seed to make it sprout. It is the earth that gives it the element that it needs to survive. Beyond that, the earth is also the custodian and the pot that encapsulates all the natural and mineral resources that human civilization has been built on top. So these primordial elements that sustains life are all feminine energies. I was also on a live on a certain day and I stumbled on an argument where someone was trying to make a case for even the sun being a feminine energy, but that's beyond the scope of my understanding. But the one that I am sure of, I have expressed. Now, if we look through nature, when you look at from the tiniest and the minute living creatures and organisms like ants and termites, in the ant colony, the woman is the custodian of the life of that colony. The woman is the pot. In fact, in their own case, it might seem as though she never runs out, because for close to 50 or so years, the woman will continue to daily bring out life that will sustain the existence of their colony. And that is something that is also evident within the complex organic structure of termites in their colony and ecosystem. When you look towards other animals that are in the savannah or in the forest, the custodian or the nurturer of new life of their species is usually the female. So this made me to come with the assumption that the Yoruba people had understood this from the beginning of time, and they used this profound word to describe the almighty creator, Olódùmarè. And when you look at Olódùmarè, you just begin to see that this is a feminine energy. And now, because Olódùmarè is the custodian and the source of all the energies of this world, we might want to lean towards the argument that Olódùmarè is a gender-neutral divine entity. And this would be the better argument, you understand? Because from within Olódùmarè, the forces of feminine energies and the forces of masculine energies all sprang forth. However, if we must ascribe a gender to Olódùmarè, it is not an E. Olódùmarè expresses more of the feminine energy than it does of the masculine energy. And this is just my understanding. And I believe it is something that we can discuss and we can understand much more about. These are the facts about life and existence in itself that Abrahamic religions and many other religions has tried to suppress in favor of the primacy of man. But the man is not the primal being. The woman is. In all exhibition of reason and logic, the woman is the primal being. The woman is the custodian of life. The woman is the creation of life. The woman is the nurturer of life. The man, on the other hand, is the supporter of that life that has already been created by the woman. Now, flowing from this, it has led me to the understanding that man is not supposed to be the king over a woman. Man is not supposed to be identified as the head over the woman. Instead, there are two elements of probably equal measures, and most likely the better symbolic categorization that I would use is that the man stands as the protector of the creator of life and the nurturer of life. So it creates a scenario where the better analogy to use in this case, in my own opinion, is that man is the knight and woman is the princess. You are the protector. And it is for this reason that men were objectively given much more strength than a woman. Also, another reason why I believe men were given much more strength than a woman is to create balance, because women are already self-sufficient entities. If they were allowed to be much more powerful than men, then man will be subjugated to the role of a slave. We'll probably have a scenario where women will lock men up in a cage and only extract their sperm to create life and nurture life and continue with the world naturally. In order to allow for some balance to exist between these two beings, that is why strength is bestowed upon a woman, while the woman is allowed to carry on the duty of creating and nurturing life. And this is just my whole understanding of the scenario. I would love to know what you guys think about it. This is a developing topic. I just stumbled on this realization yesterday and I was just so happy to share it today. So let me know what you guys think and we can discuss about it.
about you, then you are nobody. Then you are nobody. Remember.